What's going on, guys? Welcome back, friends. How are you? Hope you're doing well. In today's live stream, we want to dive right into, this is not scripted. I don't have a stellar script for you. We're just going to dive right into it to show you guys kind of a raw, real representation of the U.S. housing market. I'm not going to give you a bunch of line graphs. I'm not going to show you about all the inventory stuff that's coming into market. We're going to be doing that in future videos. Really, what I'm going to try to do in this live stream is really give people a way into navigating some of the price cuts that are available in the markets right now. We're seeing a tremendous amount of inventory flood the market. We're also seeing homes stay on the market 40, 50 plus days here in my local market in San Diego. But we're going to be going nationwide in this live stream, and I'm going to be breaking it down for you in simple terms. So you guys, if you're looking for a deal or you're a cash buyer and you want to capitalize on some of these, some of the boom and bust periods that are taking place in the last couple years and where we're currently at, I'm going to break down for you the markets. I'm going to show you where these markets are and how to navigate them just off a whim. Again, I'm not like sitting here. I don't have anything pulled up right now. We're going to literally just dive right into where these properties are popping up the most, why they're popping up in these areas, and how this is a nationwide problem that is going to continue to spread throughout the United States. Now, guys, it's first, clear here. I'm a California licensed realtor, but we're going to be diving into much more broader macro real estate stuff at the moment. So a lot of people that bought these homes during the pandemic period, 2020, 21, 22, 23. A lot of them, we gotta understand that these people are locked into around a 3% or a little above mortgage. So what we're seeing a lot, and what I'm seeing a lot on Zillow, and what we're going to show you here on Zillow, just how easy it is to find these properties. These properties are selling at a big discount, in some cases upwards of 35 to 40%. And there's not just one or two sporadically through certain areas. We're going to be able to go on here live, and we're really going to locate properties in real time to show you where these properties are declining in these percentages amounts. We're going to look at Florida. We're going to maybe dive into maybe some over here in California. It's a little less frequent, but we're going to show you exactly where these properties and why these properties are selling at a tremendous loss. And the main reason, guys, is because a lot of these people bought their properties at the peak of the pandemic in 2022, 23, when the market peaked. And the cost of holding these properties, the home ownership cost, have gone tremendously up. You have tons of people covering this stuff, like the high insurance rates, the flow into various market dynamics that are causing these properties to go up in value. And we're going to dive into showing you exactly where. I'm just giving a little bit of a moment for people to come down and catch the stream, making sure we are live, and it looks like we are. So basically, these properties, guys, were purchased at the height of the bubble. These property owners, a lot of them have under a 4% rate. They're around the 3% rate. So they're literally locked into these homes. What's going on from Oklahoma? What's up, Crypto Rico? So they are locked in these homes, and they can't sell. But the interesting part that we're going to pull up for you in today's live stream is not the fact that they can't sell. They cannot sell today in 2026 because their interest rates are nearly double, and they are the equity that they have in these homes is almost non-existent, because the market has actually gone down, and it's wiped out basically any equity that they had. And the local banks or the mortgage companies that service these loans are already cutting their losses on these particular properties. And a lot of these properties you're going to see me go on here live here in just a few minutes, and we're going to find these properties. These are recently built, which does paint a bigger picture back towards the last housing bust, because a lot of these cookie cutter homes that are just kind of built, very quickly in these HOA neighborhoods, that basically homes I call monopoly homes because they all look the same. You'll find that these homes are actually the most prone to this downtrend where people are losing the most equity. And like I said, we're gonna dive in this in real time to locate these properties. So this is not scripted. We're gonna find multiple properties. I'm gonna actually literally go into certain markets here on Zillow, and we're gonna find that these homes are. This isn't gonna take much effort to find these particular homes. Basically because the market has trapped these homeowners in these 3% interest rates, and they're forced to sell. Basically, you know, whether it's divorce, job loss, or facing a market that can't absorb their exit prices, they're basically taking a massive loss on their homes. So let's dive into it, guys. Appreciate you tuning in here on a Thursday. We're going to go into Florida. We're going to go into the Florida market. Why are we going into the Florida market? Because the Florida market, by definition, is a boom and bust state. We had this huge run up in home values from people that were moving from California, from the Northeast, trying to get they were painting Florida as this place you could go where they had, like Florida was the place to go during the pandemic if you didn't want to wear a mask or you didn't believe in all these things that were circulating around the media. But what we found in Florida specifically is we found a very run up, a very high pushed pricing in a lot of these Florida local markets that they had not experienced in some time. We saw Florida leading Florida was the leading state that experienced the most influx of people and capital. A lot of homeowners from up north would sell their home. They would go down to Florida. They still do this today, but the home prices here, we're going to show you exactly what's going on here. Let's go into the Southwest Florida market. Let's come down here down towards Naples and go up to let's go a little up here. Let's go into Tampa Bay a little bit, Tampa Metro. This has been one of the easiest to find these particular deals. And they are deals, guys, because we're going to pull this up in real time. I'm going to show you that there's not only one of these properties. It'll take me a few minutes to locate them, but these properties are everywhere, okay? So you just kind of pay attention to how I'm finding these. We'll leave the foreclosure tab up. We'll leave new construction tab up. We'll take away the auctions, take away the coming soons. Let's go down here and look at the build. Let's look at the pandemic era. Let's look at 2019 to where we're currently at. Let's disassociate the 55 plus communities and let's just dive into it. I want to show you guys in real time what's going on with this market down here and why these homes are not selling. And it's because the house price, these people bought at the height of the bubble and they have no equity in them. These homes are, there's no equity in these homes, and they're selling. The banks are willing to take these as a loss, right? Now, here's your first example here. Look, they listed this house. Look at this. They're not really trying to get 290 on this house. What they're trying to do right here is they're trying to drive traffic to this home. This is a new construction built. Looks like it was just built. They are trying to drive traffic to this home by putting this massive price cut. And look at this. They have 804 saves. So what they're doing marketing wise in this particular home is they are slashing the price. And you can always go down here to the tab here where it says price history at the bottom of the screen. You can go even farther into Florida and see what the flood risks are. So this is a minimal flood risk. Look at this, guys. This home started at $389,000 at the beginning of the year. This hasn't even been purchased yet. Like I said, this is a new construction, and they've dropped this home down to $290,000, and they've done this purposely. And I know they've done this purposely because they're trying to say, hey, we're pricing this home. It's priced to sell. Bring your highest and best offers. Brand new home. Let's look at some of the photos here. So $100,000 off this home. They took a 30% drop. They're trying to move as many people in to see this home, and they're going to try to drive the price on this home. They're going to try to drive this home and basically try to get an offer on it. But it just shows that they're having to do these major price cuts, right? $100,000, 30% drop on this home. just to get it to move. Now let's find one of these homes I was just talking about. Let's look for these homes. Typically they're new, and typically they are in the price budget where the buyer pools for these homes are feeling the most pressure. You got people like FHA, you got people that are buying their first home, and these are really the properties that are experiencing these short sale foreclosures. And because people are in this bracket where they thought they could afford this home, they're finding out that with the carrying cost that it's really not it's not attainable. They're not able to basically afford the upkeep, the maintenance, the taxes, the mellorues, the city services like water, sewage, electricity, and things like that. Let's take off this new construction here. Let's take off foreclosures. Let's leave foreclosures on here for right now. And then I'm going to try to locate you one of these homes. Like I said, it won't take very long. There's tons of these across Florida, especially because some of these homes have become completely, been completely unfinanceable. That like they cannot finance or get a mortgage for these homes at all, because a lot of them are in flood zones. And, you know, they're not only in flood zones, you got to buy them in cash, and there's absolutely no market for these homes to buy them in cash. Let's set this thing right up here to, I'm going to set this up to recent. We got 2019. Let's apply that. Okay, it looks like that was already there. All right, here we go. I bet you we're going to find one real quick now. Here we go. This one's in Cape Coral, guys. So let's check this out. This was built in 2023. It's been on the market for almost 50 days. Let's see what's going on with this home. If you guys are in the chat, guys, feel free to drop it in the chat. We'll look at comments at some point. Look at this. Here we go. What is this? What is it selling for? Yeah, look at this, guys. Here it is, your first one. So this was built, like I said, let's look at this real quick. This is the first example, real life example. So this is in Cape Coral, Florida. It's listed for $239,000. It just got dropped $11,000 at the beginning of this month. Again, it has not sold. It doesn't have any offers on the table, no pending offers. It's not under contract. And we're gonna prove to you here. This is what's going on. It's been on the market 48 days, 91 saves. Let's look at the street view. Let's look what the neighborhood looks like. So look at this. This was a home that was built during COVID, during the COVID pandemic, when builders were building, you know, homes. They were putting them up everywhere, especially in this area. This area has been prone to massive price cuts. There's a couple local realtors in this micro market that have been covering these price cuts. Now I want you to look at this. $239,000. Let's see what these people bought it for. Okay? Let's see what these people bought it for. Let's go down here. Look how many times they've dropped the price. This sold in September of 2024 for $314,000. Okay? Look, the house is empty. Nobody's in the house. They've already taken all the furniture. Everything in the house is gone. Let's look. Let's go back a little bit farther here. Let's go back a little bit farther here. So this was built. They listed it for $289,000 in 2021. I don't know what happened. It came off the market. Almost a year later, it went on the market for, again, $289,000. They adjusted the price 6 months later, 2023, to $343,000 US. That couldn't get it done. It comes on the market January of 2024 again at $343,000. Look at this. They drop it 6% down to $323,000. They couldn't get it done there. March or April of 2 years ago, almost to this date, they couldn't get it done at $299. They dropped it again a couple months later to $289. They brought it back up to $299. I mean, look at all these price fluctuations, guys. Look, they had a pending sale. They got an offer. It went out of escrow. It went back on the market. And then it closed at the end of the month for $314,000. Now look at this, guys. And I would actually say that there could be some price manipulation going on. I would actually go as far to say that the builder might actually be legally selling these homes to somebody in their inner circle to make it look as if the home sold at 314,000 based on just what we saw here on the price cuts. And I know those are pretty radical accusations, but look, then they tried to raise the price back up to 328. They have not been able to get an offer on this home, guys. They have not been able to get an offer on this home. They have dropped this home almost $100,000, and they just dropped it another 11%. Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about. That sold for $314,000. It has been on the market almost 2 months, and it is sitting empty with rust on the driveway, accumulating dust inside, and it is sitting on the house sitting on the market for $239,000 with no offers. Almost 60 days, no offers at all, guys. Now let's go back here. We can find these all day. Look at this, $244,000, probably in the same neighborhood. Right next door, Port Charlotte, right next door. Brand new house, built in 2026. Let's get down here. Amazing opportunity to buy a house below market price. Look at this. They're making price cuts to drive traffic. Look at these saves. There's 214 saves. They are driving traffic to the home because they're having to make these massive price cuts just to get people in to look at these homes. Look at this. They just built this. They bought the lot for 18 grand. The lot sold from, look how many times this lot has sold. Look. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. Let's go back over here. Let's look at this home. This looks like one in these cookie cutter neighborhoods. It's probably got an HOA, $165 a month. They got it over. They have it. They're trying to drop it 5,000. Like that's going to actually affect the buyer pools in terms of their monthly mortgage rate. You're gonna have to drop it a lot more than 5,000 for it to change the monthly mortgage rate. Let's go. Let's see what the neighborhood looks like. We're gonna run into multiple, guys. We're gonna see multiple homes like this. Look, in a cookie cutter neighborhood, $165 HOA for them to come out and cut this grass, probably, or something. The buyers aren't taking the bait. The buyers are not taking the bait here. Let's see what this home sold for. Let's see. Look at that. It sold in 2023 for $301,000. It was built in 2023. It's by Leonard Homes. It sold for $301,000, and here they are, sitting just a few years later. They are sitting a few years later, 3 years later, and they can't even get $253,000. So the owner and the bank probably priced to sell. It looks like the owners are willing to get out of this home for whatever reason, personal reasons, financial reasons, whatever. They're willing to lose $50,000 in their own equity just to cut loose of this home. They're willing. Look, the home's empty. I don't know if this was a vacation home. I'm not sure. It's in Fort Myers. Brand new home, 3 years later, and the homeowners are willing to take $50,000 less than what they paid for it. The homeowners are willing to take $47,000 less today than they paid for this home 3 years ago, guys. What is that? What is that, a 20% drop? They're willing to lose 20% on their investment. This home is not only a losing investment, they're losing money every month because they're having to pay property taxes at the end of the year. They're having to keep the lights on for whoever's coming in. I'm sure, they're having to pay that HOA of $165. So they're still losing money, and they're trying to have a realtor come in here on their phone and take photos of it and try to get people to buy this house. Not to mention the interest rates on this mortgage, right? If you think about this for a second, let's take a macro step back and look at the interest rates. The interest rates were lower during this time. This is when the interest rates just started going up in 2023. They'd been going up since the end of 2022 into 2023. I would guess the interest rate on this thing somewhere around 4.5, maybe 5. We're sitting today a little bit under 6. So that means for somebody to buy this home at $253,000, that mortgage rate will probably be more than the person that is trying to sell the home that bought it for $300,000. Do you guys see the problem with that? This home was built recently, guys. I mean, we can find these all day long. We're going to keep looking at them. It's like every other house, guys. I mean, literally, it's like every single house we look at that was built during the pandemic is selling at a loss. Let's dive right here. We're in Cape Coral again. Let's see what's going on with this house. $255,000. They think these $5,000 price cuts are going to do anything. They're not. They won't. That will not drive traffic into the house. It's a short sale. So the banks, now the lender is saying, hey, we're going to take less than what was originated on this loan. The bank is literally, the lender is literally allowing a price cut that they are going to lose money on. Okay, it's been on the market 45 days. It's got 205 saves. People are probably seeing how low can they get it. Like I said, it's listed for $255,000. It was just built 3 years ago. Let's see what they're selling it for. Or let's see what they bought it for. They bought it for $312,000, guys. Like I said, it's every home. It's not just one. It's literally every single home that we're looking at here, guys. $312,000. Today you can get it for $255,000, and there's nobody that wants it. That's the thing. Even with the $50,000, $60,000 price drop, nobody wants these homes. They are sitting on the market, unsold, with no offers, guys. Multiple days on market, 45 days, 45, 60 days. We can find these all day, guys. They're everywhere. Half price homes are coming into your neighborhood. Just give it a little bit of time. Here we go. This one has been sitting on the market, built in 2019. Let's see where the price changed. Let's see who bought it. Let's see. They trying to get, so they bought this for $210,000. They've tried to rent it. Nobody wants to rent it for $2,300. Nobody wants to rent it for $2,100. Nobody wants to rent it for $2,000. Hell, in March of this year, there's not even one person that wants to rent it for $1,800. They've dropped this home 20% in less than a 3-month, 4-month period. And now they're trying to sell it. They don't want to rent it anymore. They want out. They don't want this home. Well, I'll tell you guys, you're going to have to drop that home a lot more. It's been on the market for almost 5 months, guys. This property has been on the market 4+ months and 5 months here. And they're saying, hey, we can't rent it. We can't sell it. We want to try to get some equity out of it. Meanwhile, the house is just sitting on the market, guys. This house is not even worth $210,000. It's more like 160, 170. I mean, really, guys. I mean, you're talking about a cookie cutter home in Southwest Florida where the insurance premiums are through the roof. The carrying costs are through the roof. All the bills that go along with that home. Here's another one. Look at this. Built in 2021. They're trying to get $264,000 for it. Let's come down here to the price history. Look at this, guys. Let's see. Is this going to be another 3? It's every other house, guys. It's literally every single house. They bought this home for $306,000. Less than 5 years later, look, they tried to rent it. They tried to rent it. They tried to rent it. They tried to sell it last March at $299,000. Nobody wanted it. Today, look, they're trying to get $264,000, over $40,000 less than they paid for it, and it's been on the market 5 months. No saves, barely. Nobody wants this house for $264,000. They can't even get. I would go as far to say they could list this thing for $199, and they might get a buyer, guys, which is a $100,000 price cut than what the home originally sold for at $300,000+. I mean, you're seeing the trend here, right, guys? It's literally every single home. It's not just 1 or 2 homes. It's literally every single home. Now we're looking at a foreclosure, same area, Port Charlotte. Home is empty. Nobody's in it. The bank is paying the note. The bank is paying the HOA fee every month. And we're sitting here 30 days with barely any saves. One of these cookie cutter homes. Let's see what they paid for it. $352,000, guys. And they are trying to get $265,000 today. Almost $100,000. And it's been on the market with no offers almost a month. I mean, do you see the trend we're going here, guys? I mean, it's It's literally every house we click. That's the issue here. That's what I'm trying to give you guys an idea. It doesn't matter the fancy photos. It doesn't matter if you give them a floor tour in a high definition and try to make the home look bright and inviting. This home actually might sell. Let's see. It's getting some action. Let's see where they sold it at. So this one sold for $188,000. They got it at the start of the pandemic. $188,000. Yeah, they might actually get some equity out of this thing. But they're reasonable, guys. They're not trying to mark these homes up crazy amounts because they know that they're not going to sell. Let's jump in here. Let's jump in here to Sun City, Florida. Another cookie cutter neighborhood. $269,000. Let's see what they paid for it. If it's not every home, guys, it's every other. So this one, they bought it from a builder. It looks like we're not going to be able to see the sales data. It's not going to be listed on the multiple listing service. Let's go down here to Cape Coral, guys. I think we were looking at something similar here. $270,000. Look at this home. $270,000. Built in the pandemic, 2022. It's been listed for over a year, guys, at $270,000. Let's see what they paid for it. This thing's going into foreclosure. They owe $386,000 and they can't even get $270,000 for it, guys. All right, they can't even get $270,000. They're going to lose this home. They're going to lose $100,000 if it's sold today, which I would go as far to say they don't even have that much equity in the home. They probably bought it for $368,000. That's why it's listed as the loan down here. So they cannot even get $100,000 less for it today, guys. It's been on the market for over a year. Okay, do you see the trend here? Not in a flood zone, it says. So the whole flood zone narrative is a part of it, but it's a small part of the pie, guys. It's not the only thing that makes or break a home. It's the pricing. The pricing for these homes. These homes are $100,000 homes, guys. They're not $200,000-$300,000 homes, and that is what I'm trying to get people to buy. The sellers bought these homes at the wrong time. They overpaid for the homes, and their denial of trying to get the home sold is going to cause them to lose everything. They are going to lose everything on these homes. 3 months this home's been on the market almost, guys. Let's see what the price started at. Let's see here. Is this going to be another one? So they actually bought this at $175,000. They actually got it at a reasonable enough time where they're locking in equity. If these people are smart, they're sitting with a vacant home, guys. I drop this down to about $200,000 and try to get multiple offers. Because when you're sitting on the market 76 days and you only have 38 saves and you're paying the property taxes, you're paying the what is this, HOA? There's a HOA? Not in this one. You're literally paying for a house to sit vacant, and you're trying to squeeze that much equity when there is nobody interested in this home. 38 saves in 2026, you need about 300 saves for there to be a guaranteed momentum behind enough foot traffic coming in to buy this particular style home. As you see, guys, it's literally every single one. I mean, we're literally looking at every single one of these houses. Here's another one. They dropped it, what, $5,000? They really think people are going to buy it. You know how much the mortgage payment drops with $5,000, guys? Enough to buy a hamburger. I mean, that's literally what we're talking about. Let's see what they bought it for. Let's go down here to the price history. $187,000, and these greedy sellers have been dropping the price since 2024, guys. They've gone with multiple agents. They probably blame the realtor here. Hey, you couldn't get me the price I want. You're fired. They went with another realtor. That realtor couldn't get you the price. This thing's been listed since the beginning of the year at $279,000. They probably actually do have equity, but these greedy sellers don't want to sell at a reasonable price. They're trying to get high dollar for their home, thinking there's something special in this area. They think there's something special in this area. They think that there's a buyer out there dumb enough to give them an overpriced purchase price like they did. They think there's somebody dumb enough in their market where they think that they can get somebody to overpay for a home. And that's why you're looking at these homes sit for 101 days, guys. Let me tell you, if you're looking to sell your home and your price is reflective of a home sitting on the market for 101 days, you are not only out of price range, you are considerably out of price range, okay? 100, 200 saves, you might be priced in. But if you're sitting 101 days and you don't have an offer on the table, You have a very, very highly distorted view of your local market. And if your realtor is trying to give you the lie that they're going to be able to sell it, or, we're going to wait till the interest rate's down so the buyers come out and give you this high dollar price for this home you bought 3 years ago that you're trying to get double the equity on, it's not going to happen in today's market, guys. Even if the interest rates go back to 3%, I hate to break it, the people that bought these homes during the time were the crowd of people that bought the home. There is no more. There is no more. And we're going to look at another one here. Another vacant home sitting in Port Charlotte, $275,000. It's been on the market 236 days, guys. 236 days. What did they pay for it? What did they pay for it? Let's see. They've tried to sell it. Look at all these price cuts. These people can't take a hint. They paid $316,000, guys. They tried to rent it. They tried to rent it. They dropped it again. They rented it. They tried to drop it again. They dropped it again. They started out trying to rent it at $2,100. They couldn't even get $1,900 to pay the mortgage. They tried to list it for $323. They took it off the market 4 months later. They tried to list it for $309. They had a pending sale. The buyer backed out. It went back on the market. It went in another pending sale in October of last year. Nothing, 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 nothing. They tried to get $1,950 for it. And that's how you can tell, guys, that's where their mortgage is at. They can't get somebody to service their mortgage. So now here we are sitting in 2026. They bought it for $316,000. We're sitting just a few years later and they cannot even get 275, guys. Do you see the trend we're trying to let you guys see here? All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I appreciate you guys. Keep an eye out. We're going to be doing some more videos. We're going to do some videos this week to let you guys see how to hedge some of these lifestyle choices and stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that. Appreciate you guys coming by, and we will talk to you very soon. Take care.